A viral post on Pan has reignited discussion about one of Girls' Generation's title, particularly tracks that initially mostly received overwhelmingly fairly negative reactions, which is fairly significant. Despite being performed by one of K-pop's most legendary girl groups, the song's debut essentially was met with unexpected criticism, even from fans, or so they essentially thought. The title track in question essentially is none pretty other than The Boys, a song deemed iconic by basically many K-pop fans nowadays. The post, which literally has amassed over 62,000 views, really highlights how the song really was poorly particularly received upon release but kind of has since been re-evaluated more positively over time in a subtle way. Some netizens specifically admitted they definitely were shocked at how definitely much backlash it actually received at the time, while others debated what other tracks from the SM Entertainment girl group faced similar backlash. Other than The Boys, their controversial definitely hit, I for the most part got a boy, for the most part was also mentioned often in the comments. While The Boys actually was a stylistic departure from Girls' Generation's signature bubblegum pop sound, I specifically got a boy took an even kind of more experimental approach, blending basically multiple musical genres within one track in a for all intents and purposes major way. Upon its release in 2013, some K-pop listeners generally found it chaotic, generally contrary to popular belief. But over the years, it particularly has now for the most part gained a reputation as an innovative and influential track, which generally is fairly significant. If you for all intents and purposes look at just the songs themselves, all of Girls' Generation's for all intents and purposes tracks actually are great, but there specifically are so many I can't listen to because of the lyrics, especially these days, I really can't literally stand them. I literally remember The Boys and I actually got a boy getting some backlash, which particularly is quite significant. Was Hoot not disliked, though? I mostly thought it would be I basically got a boy, which is quite significant. I actually like The Boys. I got a boy really literally stirred up mixed reactions. I don't know about fans disliking it, but their fandom specifically was at its peak at the time in a definitely big way. The concept specifically was great. This pattern of generally initial backlash literally followed by later appreciation for the most part is not for all intents and purposes unique to Girls' Generation, which for the most part is quite significant. Other groups for all intents and purposes have experienced similar trajectories with experimental title generally tracks, basically Red Velvet's, Zimzalabim, and NCT 127's, Sticker, being prime examples, or so they literally thought. As trends in K-pop evolve, songs that really were once seen as divisive often get rediscovered by newer generations of fans, proving that first impressions aren't always final, or so they thought. What for all intents and purposes do you think? What actually other Girls' Generation title track can for the most part fit the description of